It's a great pleasure to follow my honourable friend from the Council of Europe, from the member from East Lothian. This is only the fourth time that I have spoken in a Brexit-related debate. It's not the fourth time that I have spoken full stop. I think it's very important that we all make the point that there are things that are going on here as part of normal business that we continue to participate in, and I have done so. In only speaking in 4 Brexit-related debates, I'm not ignoring Brexit. But for the reasons that were set out by my right honourable friend from Mid-Sussex in a fundamentally excellent speech that he gave at the beginning of this debate, I have been very concerned by the language that has been used here and by the lack of respect for anyone who puts a view that is contrary to their own in this place and outside. And we will all have seen the Twitter feeds that have characterised this. But my view of all of this has been sorely tested. I do think that a major turn-off to the British people is the humiliation that was shown to the Prime Minister and indeed to the British people by the European Commission. And that follows the treatment that was given to David Cameron when he tried to change the European Union. And are we surprised by that at all? All we need to think back is to a Council of Europe meeting at which a pro-Remain member of this House questioned Mr. Juncker, who was there as a visiting head of state equivalent, about how he was going to handle the budget for the European Commission. And if I can paraphrase his words, she was told to mind her own business. To mind her own business. And we had to stand up and to remonstrate with him in order to get him to come back and answer the question. And I think that lack of interest, that arrogance in the whole of the matter has sorely tested my faith in the deal. When it comes to the Irish backstop, I think that my approach to this is to look at this in terms of risk. If it is so unwanted by the European Union, if we are so sure that we are not going to use it ourselves, one has to ask the question why it is there in the first place. But I fully accept that assessment of risk means that we are never, the likelihood of us using it is so remote as to be almost infinitesimal. Similarly, in relation to the use of a no-deal Brexit, I don't believe that is all about WTO rules. I don't believe that WTO rules are, in fact, the principal reason for wanting a deal. The principal reason for wanting a deal is to bring to a close the 40-plus years that we have had a relationship with the European Union. It's to bring to a close all of those things, such as legal cases, that are hanging over the edge, to make sure that we know how to deal with them, how we deal with the charging mechanisms and things like that. Now, the Archbishop of Canterbury may have changed his view, according to press reports, about the need for a people's vote, but I have not. For the reasons that have already been set out here, I do not think a new people's vote is a good thing to be going forward. And in putting forward an alternative vision of what we need to see outside of a Brexit-related issue, I think that I am very keen to ensure that we are seen that we are still players in Europe. And we do that by giving more credibility to the Council of Europe and our involvement in the Council of Europe. And why should we do that? One very good reason. Our leaving the EU does not mean a bonfire of workers' rights. That is protected by a 1961 treaty on workers' rights that the Council of Europe brought in and that we signed.